Alright guys, this is kind of a heavy topic. I was contemplating covering it on the podcast channel just because it's definitely a little spicier than I might want to cover, but you know, it's a gaming topic. Dr. Disrespect is one of the biggest game streamers on the planet, so we're going to cover it right here. Now, if you do recall, back in summer of 2020, during the beginning of the pandemic, the Rona, whatever you want to call it, Dr. Disrespect took a lot of heat from people like Nathan Grayson here at Kotaku regarding several comments he made on stream regarding the reaction to the coof, to the virus, right? And ironically, they called him a conspiracy theorist, but even in this article that goes back 4 years, when you start going through the things that they talk about being a conspiracy, most of those things turned out to be proven correct. Here we are 4 years later. I mean, it's shocking, right? Go figure. Long and the short of it, though, this huge hit piece from Nathan Grayson over Kotaku was one of the things that eventually led to him getting banned just like a month or two later. I believe it was in August, so 3 months later, 4 months later, however the math works out, 3 months later. Well, then you have, just back in April of this year, Dr. Disrespect calling Twitch a slithery, disgusting purple snake, but still didn't give a reason for why he was permanently banned. Now, it's worth noting that he said he was going to sue the F out of Twitch. They eventually settled. Long and the short of it, he's been streaming on YouTube. He got paid from Twitch, and basically nobody talked about why he got banned. The official reason was never given. Now, in the last 24 hours, we have this person who's a former Twitch employee basically alluding to knowing why and saying it was for some really horrible things that the doc did. Now, again, these are allegations, these are rumors, these are things that have not been proven, and nothing's been backed up with any evidence. But it's by this person here, Cody Connors, who used to work at Twitch. Apparently they were I cannot recall their exact position at Twitch, but again, they were in a position to apparently have inside information about the ongoing activity of some of the biggest streamers on the platform, and having access to apparently this whisper system, which, as far as I knew, Twitch still had whispers for DMing people, but maybe it was a different version of it. I'm not sure exactly. Long and the short of it, this Cody Connors person had tweeted out this tweet. We're going to get to Rod Breslow, though, back in 2020, though. So Rod Breslow, who allegedly, he's this big, games journalist, investigative reporter, whatever he calls himself. Back in 2020, he had tweeted out and said, "Look, for several hours now, I've been told from credible sources the reason Dr. Disrespect has been banned. However, due to the importance and sensitivity around the subject, I have refrained from going on. I don't feel comfortable with it currently." So that was his statement back in 2020, 4 years ago. Now we have Cody Connors tweeting out he got banned because he got caught messaging a minor in the then existing Twitch Whispers product. He was trying to meet up with her at TwitchCon. The powers that be could read it in plain text. Case closed, gang. Now, this is not a direct response, but Rod Breslow then tweeted out a little bit later, "I didn't lie." So again, kind of reinforcing the rumor that was circulating on on Twitter about the former Twitch streamer. So you have people like The Quartering coming out saying, "This is the dude," talking about Cody Connors, "who exposed Dr. Disrespect. I'm sure he's just an unbiased child protector and not a weirdo leftist ideologue at all." Well, I mean, that's kind of tongue-in-cheek because we all know Twitch is just a cesspool of a platform full of nothing but half-naked women, political activists, and furries and plant people. So Cody Connors, just a month ago, said, "If you're a single woman on a first date with a dude and he makes any negative remarks about Taylor Swift, you just gotta dip. That guy is clearly a moron and you just gotta keep it moving because you deserve better. You're like 2 sentences away from him telling you that he loves the police. Just keep it moving, sis." I mean, come on. Really? That kind of an odd thing to be saying. But yeah, of course, Rod Breslow is the one, again, that initially said he knew what was going on. And since then, he has not really touched on it except to say, point people in the direction of a blog about it. But yeah, you can still see the tweet is up right here, "I didn't lie." He's just leaving it with that. So Jake Lucky, who does report on a lot of this stuff, said a former Twitch employee has come forward and stated the alleged reason, to which Dr. Disrespect replied and said, "Jake, seriously, I get it. It's a hot topic, but this has been settled. No wrongdoing was acknowledged, and they paid out the whole contract." Now, this is one of those things people have been freaking out about because he said no wrongdoing was acknowledged. Regardless of what he meant by it, I get that it doesn't sound great. But again, he has to be very careful about how he states things legally, I'm sure. A little bit later, he tweeted out, so 11 o'clock today, "Listen, I'm obviously tied to legal obligations from the settlement with Twitch, but I just need to say what I can say since this is the effing internet. I didn't do anything wrong. All this has been probed and settled. Nothing illegal. No wrongdoing was found, and I was paid. Back to Elden Ring on Monday. So then you have other people who have just been sharing absolutely horrific stuff. Guys like this dude here, Jeffrey Perkins, saying, Dr. Disrespect, I can't lie. I have been preying on your downfall for so long. I genuinely cried tears of joy when this came out. Your name will forever be linked to Drake, Diddy, and Epstein. I won. I don't even know who this Jeffrey Perkins person is. He's got a huge following on Twitter, but beyond that, I have no idea. So this guy, Legacy Killer HD on Twitter, was pointing out that there were several Twitch employees who had said the same thing, apparently, as this Cody Connors person. And then, of course, you have it's this Zachary Diaz guy saying, so glad it's finally out there. Then, you, of course, you have Destiny here claiming that he's known something, and we'll get to Destiny in a second. Another reporter claims to have had multiple secondhand sources, and we're back to Nathan Grayson here, that allegedly pretty much said the same thing. Again, how does this not leak until now? So bizarre. And here's Nathan Grayson, who wrote that article back in May of 2020 saying, without revealing anything else in order to protect the sources, I can say that this is not the first time I've heard basically this explanation, nor is it the second or third. So again, just piling on, allegedly. The studio head and co-founder of Dr. Disrespect's video game company, Midnight Society, currently developing the multiplayer shooter game Dead Drop, has responded by saying, I'm now aware and I'm dealing with it. No idea what that means. So Midnight Society studio head and co-founder Robert Bowling has said he's now investigating the allegation. Bowling in the past has spoken out against misconduct happening in the games industry. And he says, I very deliberately mean now aware. I landed from Stockholm, reconnected, saw the tweet, and immediately began an investigation to learn everything I need to know so I can ensure a full follow-through. But then here we get to Destiny, and this is Destiny's big brain take, okay? This guy is impossible to listen to. I'm sorry. He's very cringe. We'll just play a few seconds of this to kind of give you an idea.
I feel like I've heard for so long people say that they were worried about like potential lawsuits or whatever bullshit. I don't know why they ever felt that way. I'm not sure if there's like some other part to that story that I just didn't hear, but this story has been known since basically Dr. Disrespect got banned. I'm surprised that it's been under wraps for so long, considering I think about a year ago I started to hear about it from people that I wouldn't expect would keep those secrets, but yeah, for years. Since he was first banned, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so he just reinforces the idea that this is something he's been hearing about for years, but apparently nobody has said anything up till now. Then you have this guy, Ra Toman, on Twitter. I don't know if this was to be Rarato Man or whatever, saying, bro, Nick is out here saying, leave the kids alone. And Doc's like, no, that's crazy. Using a picture of Dr. Disrespect sitting next to his own daughter. Absolutely degenerate behavior right there. I don't care if you think he's guilty or not. That's his kid, and these are allegations. That's completely disgusting. So Bad Boy Beeman says, proof that this rat Rara will do anything for clicks, defends cheaters in games even when there's proof, but will use an image of Dr. Disrespect with his daughter while insinuating the proofless accusation is true. Absolutely effing rat. And we're just seeing so much of this. Again, Cody Connors had said this, and this guy Omni XRP says, I hope Dr. Disrespect sues the F out of you. Camelcast, so Camelot on YouTube says, this Dr. Disrespect thing is so 2024 that it hurts. People are going after him for a random person with an allegation. No proof, no evidence, no victim speaking out, nothing. Can y'all treat politicians the same way, please? I mean, that's a very, very, very insightful thought on his part. It's like, yeah, we let everybody else get away with everything, but anyone who's a mildly small internet celebrity or content creator or somebody who everyone's got beef with, you'll just believe any rumor they say about them. The Quartering responded to this person saying, can you explain to us why Twitch would randomly ban their top streamer at the time, or why for years this exact same rumor about him was floating around, or why no one at Twitch said anything about his ban? So the Quartering says, easy, Twitch was very publicly hemorrhaging money and still is. You can find hundreds of articles about it. Doc was very expensive and also not exactly quote on brand, so they looked for any possible reason to break ties. And that's another thing too, that people don't take into consideration. Dr. Disrespect was getting paid a ton of money, and after he left over the next couple of years, many big name streamers who were also their top streaming, partners left Twitch for other platforms as well. So it's not just Dr. Disrespect. So now we get to this situation today where Nickmercs chimes in, and I'm going to play this whole 50-second video here.
Yo, checking in. Look, I opened Twitter. Bunch of My mentions are he, they, she, hey, they, fucking, I identify as a helicopter. God damn it. And I seen the couple tweets about the doc. I'm as taken back as a lot of you guys are, okay? But the fact remains that these are some crazy accusations. Crazy. Big time accusations. And until we know more, until we know them as fact, until they've been proven with evidence, what are we talking about? What's anybody talking about? As far as the leave the little kids alone stuff, this doesn't make it any further from the truth. Leave little children out of your shit. Have a nice day.
And again, I think honestly, that kind of sums it up for a lot of us. There's no knowing if what he is being accused of is real or not. But of course, people decided to like completely jump all over Nickmercs. Nicholas Diorio talking about this Caseytron person saying, just to be clear, Twitch banning someone and providing no further context for 4+ years is not enough evidence to make any definitive claims. You're just mad because the dude is supposedly transphobic or something. I get it, but this take is completely retarded. Talking about her saying, since Nickmercs has so many blocked, here's the video he posted in regards to Dr. Disrespect. He defends him and demands more evidence. How is that? I want to know how that's not like logical to say, hey, how about some proof, right? Where's the receipts? She went on to say, if Twitch banning one of the most popular streamers on the platform out of nowhere isn't enough evidence for you, you're cooked, hypocrites. So they banned him, therefore it must be true. Right, okay. So then, of course, somehow this involved Kris, Tyson, and Mr. Beast. And this is the most crazy, whacked out thing I've ever seen. So Kris Tyson, who apparently goes by Ava now, says me every time I post on Twitter/POS. Nickmercs responded to Kris saying, you should be ashamed of yourself leaving behind your wife and child to play pretend. One day you'll wake up and realize what you've done. And I mean, that is just ouch. Of course, Kris clapped back and said some crazy things that I can't even say on Twitter without worrying about getting, or sorry, on YouTube without worrying about getting a strike of some kind. And so Mr. Beast actually tweeted out and said, Ava is literally always with her kid and doesn't even go on shoots to spend more time with him. Tuckman is always smiling, not sure why this rumor is a thing. Of course, I responded with quotes, her kid. And I'm just going to leave that right there. So yeah, this has been a very crazy situation. I want to leave off with a few people who said some very wise things. Brandon Tatum here says, the man's name is Herschel Beam, aka Dr. Disrespect. He's a well-known streamer with millions of followers on YouTube and across social media. Lately, he's been outspoken against the LGBTQ agenda against kids and has even come to the defense of another well-known streamer who's taken a lot of heat for telling that crowd to leave the kids alone. Talking about Nickmercs. Now all of a sudden he's being accused of being a predator by trying to contact an underage girl through Twitch years ago. With no proof, only the word of a former Twitch employee, for some reason Brett Kavanaugh and Clarence Thomas comes to mind. Why do allegations always arise when someone speaks or does anything against the left's agenda? I'll wait until proof comes out if it ever does. And I don't necessarily know for a fact that this is a left versus right thing. I do know that Twitch is a far left platform full of, like I said, furries and degenerates and, you know, plant and tree people and stuff and deer people. That being said, Vanessa, Gothix TV actually chimed in and quote tweeted Brandon saying, my exact thoughts, remember this is the same platform that gave a trans species identifying male the power to ban people for so-called hate speech. And she's talking about this person right here that D-Day Cobra pointed out is a dear lady who is on the safety council team for Twitch. And of course, she said, this is basically for any objection to the LGBTQ Wi-Fi password agenda. Twitch operates as a cult, and every sensible person knows this. As long as you're a good progressive streamer regurgitating the same Marxist talking points, you'll be fine, adored, and even celebrated. If not, you get this type of treatment, accusations and character assassination indefinitely. And this one person here, Destin Lagari, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce his last name, on Twitter here, brought up something that I think a lot of us have been wondering, okay? And this, again, I think is the most succinct and to-the-point way of looking at this. He says, on the Dr. Disrespect ban controversy, if this is true, couldn't Twitch employees be implicated in covering up a crime? This is a very serious allegation. If this is not true, a lot of people will get sued. I imagine a statement better than no wrongdoing was acknowledged would be necessary at this point. And I think that right there sums it up perfectly. I know this video's gone on a little long. It's just, this has been a lot to get through, a lot to cover and try to get to the bottom of. At the end of the day, I'm not going to say it's not possible that he messaged somebody Whether he knew or didn't know that they were underage and then found out later, or that's his thing and he was into it, I don't know. I can't say, and I'm not going to make any allegations because I'm not going to just go off half-cocked and accuse somebody of some of the worst behavior you can ever imagine. What I will say is, it is weird, the timing. It is very strange how this coincides with, we're in Pride Month, and he's been critical of that community, and he's been backing up Nickmercs, who's trying to be, they're trying to cancel him right now because of his stance about people pushing the trans agenda on children. So this all seems very fishy. Let me know what you guys think about all this, though. I am very curious if any of you think that this is credible, or if it's all just some sort of agenda to try to get him canceled. Either way, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. All right, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for being here. I do have 2 channels, Minimal Effort Podcast, as well as my gaming channel. I do have a Twitch and Kick for my gaming channel. We do live streams over there occasionally, maybe once a week. And then if you are in the market for a new PC, make sure to check out Meta PCs. Click the link I have down below. Use code TBO at checkout for a special discount. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.